Instead of being lost to this extraordinary spectacle of divine glory, we now became very worried and anxious as we could see only Swami's face. We began to wonder, what has happened to Swami's body? Have the flames harmed Swami? That was the thought uppermost in our minds. Meanwhile, many people fell down and some even fainted, but I did not realize it then. Suddenly, in a flash, the entire spectacle came to an abrupt end. The sky was back to normal as if nothing had ever happened, while Swami was with us on the Chitravati sands. He then asked why some people had fallen down. We said that we did not know the reason. Swami then created sacred ash or vibhuti and applied it to everyone's forehead. Having done that, he said, "Come on, let us return to the mandir." We started walking back, but most of us were quite unsteady and wobbling. Back in the mandir, with much love, Swami said, "Today I have granted you the blessing of Trinetra Darshan, the vision of the third eye, for which you all have been pining in many previous births. What I have shown you is not even 1,000th of the full glory, and what little I showed made many of you to fall down, unable to bear the power of that sight." That was when some kind of normalcy started returning amongst us. Word quickly began to spread, and many took the trouble of coming all the way to Puttaparthi to have the darshan of young Baba, despite all the difficulties of reaching that place. This included some of the elite of big cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad and Madras, now called Chennai. Indeed, even the Maharani of Mysore came several times, although she had to walk across the sands of the Chitravati river, since there was no direct road as yet to Puttaparthi. Not merely that, in response to invitations from these people, Swami started visiting various cities, and thus it is that he went to Madras, Bangalore, Mysore, Hyderabad and the hill station Ooty. Elder brother Seshamaraju, already much disappointed by his brother's decision to drop out of school, was now deeply concerned. Not yet fully aware of Baba's divinity, he began to worry about the impact of the attention that his younger brother was receiving, especially in the press. In May 1947, Seshama wrote to Swami conveying his anxiety. Shortly thereafter, on 25th May, Swami wrote a reply. It was supposed to be a reply to his elder brother, but in reality, it was a prophetic message to humanity. In that letter, Baba says, in part, as the proverb says, it is only the fruit-laden tree that receives the shower of stone from the passers-by. The good always provoke the bad into calumny. The bad always provoke the good into doing more good. This is the nature of the world. One must be surprised if such things do not happen. People too have to be pitied rather than condemned. They do not know. They have no patience to judge correctly. They are too full of lust, anger and conceit to see clearly and know fully. So they write all sorts of things. If only they know, they would refrain from writing or talking like that. We too should not attach any value to such comments and take them to heart as you seem to do. Truth will certainly triumph someday. Untruth can never win. Untruth might appear to overpower truth, but its victory would fade away and truth would establish itself. I have a task to foster all mankind and ensure for all people lives full of ananda. I have a vow to lead all who stray away from the straight path again into goodness and save them. I am attached to a work that I love, to remove the suffering of the poor and grant them what they lack. When I am thus engaged in my beneficial task, how can my name be ever tarnished as you apprehend? I would advise you not to heed to such absurd talk. Mahatmas do not acquire greatness through someone calling them so. They do not become small just because some call them small. Authenticity will soon win. No one can comprehend my glory, whosoever it may be, whatever be the method of inquiry, and no matter how long the attempt. You will yourself see the full glory unfolding in the coming years. Devotees must have patience and forbearance. I am not concerned, nor am I anxious that these facts should be made known. I have no need to write these words. I wrote them because I felt that you will be pained if I do not reply. Thus, yours, Baba. It is important to note the date, 25th May 1947. India was still being ruled by the British. In fact, right then, discussions were going on in London concerning what the British should do about the future status of India. And here was Baba, not yet 21, promising to foster all mankind and declaring that the world would one day see his glory unfolding. Who would have believed that then? Actually, very few bothered about all this, since their focus was entirely on the present, that is, the love that Baba showered. However, avatars never forget their mission. Thus it was that looking ahead, Swami decided to bring the curtain down on the Leela phase for which the Patha Mandiram was the stage. A new mandir was needed that, in time, would become his global and indeed universal headquarters. And the foundation for that headquarters was laid in 1948. On 23rd November 1950, that is 60 years ago, when Swami was 25, the new mandir was inaugurated and Swami moved into it, living in a small room upstairs. Thus began a totally new era in which the new mandir, named Prashanti Nilayam, or the abode of peace, underwent successive transformations over the years to present the wonderful appearance it has today, even as Swami's glory also grew exactly as he had forecast way back in May 1947. The story goes that when Swami took Mother Ishwaramma to show the new mandir as it was in its final stages, Mother shook her head and asked, "Why do you need such a big hall? Do you think you would ever get enough devotees to fill this entire hall?" Swami smiled and simply led Mother to the door. Standing there, he pointed to the far distance where the Gopuram now stands and said, "You would live to see the day when there are crowds at least up to that, and indeed even more." We do not know whether Mother Ishwaramma was convinced at that point of time, but we do know that she did live to see Swami's glory becoming global, even as memories of the Patha Mandiram became amazing living memories for the blessed few who were fortunate to be a part of that era. That is the way it was with Krishna. An ecstatic past gave way to a majestic future. And so it has proved to be in the case of Swami also.
We shall follow up on that part of the story tomorrow in our next episode.